So I'm just going to wait and make sure that I got this. I'm very nervous, so I apologize if I talk really fast or any of all that jazz. But yay, I'm here. I think. Let me just refresh everything to make sure. Might not go until right at 1. I appreciate all of you being here. That makes me so happy. It shows that I'm live. Oh, there I am. Yay. Okay. So I know that there is a delay. So if I don't see your comment right away, that's why. And also, I'm really, really new to this. I have done lives before. I've been on Craft Roulette and I've been on with Crafty Owl and I've done Facebook lives, but this is my very first solo YouTube live. So I appreciate all the love you can give me. I have notes, so hopefully I don't forget everything that I want to talk about. First, I wanted to give a great big shout out to Crafty Owl. She has been texting with me and Marco Poloing with me all morning, giving me tips and tricks and calming my nerves and listening to me ramble. So a great big hug to her and a big thank you for helping me out. And since I have watched several of her live chats and other people's, make sure that if you are here during the live to make sure that you are on live chat and not any of the other options, which I can't think of right now. If you want to ask me a question, you can use the little at symbol if you're on a computer and highlight my name and that'll grab my attention. Or if you put like question or Danny all in caps, I'm more likely to see that. Maybe not, but I will try my hardest. Crafty Al is here and she can answer a lot of questions. And I know there's a lot of other crafty folks in the chat that can probably answer questions. Let me see. I think that was all. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up. I would so appreciate that. And I think that we will get started. I did want to start out by sharing my card that I went on my blog today. This is using one of the stamp sets that we will be using today. This is Farmer Newton. And this is for the Inky Paws Challenge put on by Newton's Nook. In the description box, I already have the link to there. Grab your Newton's Nooks goodies and come play along with it. Right now we have a fun sketch. So I'd love to see you join in the fun with that. And I don't know if I did just put that on the inside. So I wanted to talk about that. Ooh, check mark. All right, and then I also am so excited that I have been doing a series on coloring cats. If you've missed that, you can always go and watch those videos. Next up, probably tomorrow, I'm going to have this cat, and then I will be done with that. And then we will be moving on to Barnyard Critters. Thank you for all the compliments on the card. I did think it turned out adorable. I also give a fair warning. For those that don't know, I have a cat, Alyssa, who is really something else. I just fed her, so I'm hoping that maybe she will not bother the live, but there's always the chance that she might be curious. So I wanted to show what we are going to be working on today. I do have everything prepped because I knew that I would be nervous and I wanted this to kind of go quickly. So yes, Crafty Al, hashtag it's always Alyssa. So pretty much everything that I'm using is from Newton's Nook. They just released some fun Farmyard, Barnyard type goodies, and I just thought it would be so much fun. These I will not be using is like the we're not using the sheep today. And we won't be using the bleat, which is the goats. And we won't be using the oink, which is the piggies. But like I said, my next coloring series is going to be all about barnyard animals. So you will definitely be seeing those. So we will also be using this brand new Farmyard 6x6 paper pad. I pulled out just a couple of the papers, but isn't it so fun? Look at all those fun patterns. I don't know why, but I am like obsessed with Barnyard, Farmyard type stuff. Next, I always put my dies onto these magnetic sheets that I get from Amazon. We will also be using the barn die. I was going to try to incorporate like the tractor and everything, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself. So we might revisit that another time. I also used the sun from the Sky Scene Builder dies, which are these here. It's a fun one to do. And I use this die often. I use this little hilly one here, and that is the land border dies. Again, all of these are from Newton's Nook. I'm losing my voice. I also use the framework dies, and we are going to be doing a little stenciling. If you follow me for very long, you know I love to do clouds, and this is the Cloudy Sky Stencil. And I just think that'll be fun. Let's set that aside because we will be using this. And then we're going to be using Cluck. We're going to use this little chicken here, and I do have the dies for that. And again, we're going to be using Farmer Newton. I thought that that went along with coloring up cats, and I do have the dies for that. And then we're going to be using Moo. I think I stamped out this one right here and I have the dies for that. So that is what I'm going to be doing. All right, first we're going to stencil because why not? I am using my Make Art Station. I'm still trying to find the perfect stencil get up, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but this has been working for me lately. I used the Make Art Station, and then I got this sticky mat off of scrapbook.com. And then there is our white paper that we're going to stencil these clouds on. Aren't they all just so much fun, all those stamps and dies? To be fair, I am on the Inky Paws challenge team, and so I do like their stuff, and I have a lot of it, but I would probably have it even if I wasn't on their team. All right, so I put the paper down. It's already cut out. Hello to everyone who is joining me. Again, I am super nervous, so I apologize. I'm probably like talking fast or something. As I do these more, hopefully I'll get a little bit better at it. Thanks for being understanding. And I did choose Salty Ocean Distress Oxide to do our little clouds in. And I have my waffle flower brush here. And I just have a little Simon Says stamp thing there to hold it in so it doesn't move around. And we're just going to stencil. This one's a pretty basic one. If you don't already follow the Scrappy Boy Stamps channel, I do have videos up every Wednesday and sometimes other days over there, and I am going to be showing a really fun stencil soon that is with the Summer Fling collection, so that's fun. Thank you, Crafty Al, for saying I'm doing great. I feel like I'm shaking and stuff, but yes. And for everyone for coming. Can't tell you how nervous but excited I am for this. My hope is to do more of these, and I will do different times and different days and stuff, so maybe more people could join. But as always, you can catch the replay. Already I'm loving how this is looking, and I just realized I didn't want to go all the way down, but it's not a big deal because I have pattern paper that's going to cover that. I love some pattern paper. All right, so I think that looks good. If you've also watched me live before anywhere, I am a neat freak and I try to clean up right afterwards, so bear with me when I go to clean things up. Now the fun part, or at least I think it's the fun part, we get to do the big reveal. And it's really stuck on there good today. Ta-da! How fun is that? And I'm just going to clean this stencil real quick, and then we will get to coloring next, which I know many of you enjoy coloring probably as much as I do. I don't know. I like it a lot. All right, so that's going to be our little, I use Salty Ocean Distress Oxide. All right, and like I said, I have everything ready to go because I didn't want this to go long. So that's going to go like that. And then here's a little strip where I use those land border dies. And that is eventually going to go right there. All right. Again, thank you to everyone who is joining me. This is so exciting. I really only thought maybe like 2 or 3 people would come. So I'm super excited that I have 16 people right now. All right, so I have already stamped and die cut out our little images. We're going to start with Farmer Newton, and then we'll probably do Moo and also Cluck. I love the names of these. I am kind of sad I didn't realize there was a Nay set that Newton's Nook had, but it's already retired. I've already put out some feelers to see if I can find it because I have full set syndrome and I want all the things, but we'll see how that works out. I'm going to move my creaky chair and sit down so I can color. I won't be able to see quite as much of the comments while I'm coloring, but feel free to ask. All right, I think that I want him to be kind of a brownie, more neutrally, one of my favorite color combos, I guess, which is the E40s, E41, 42, 43, 44 colors in Copics. So that's just what I'm going to start with, because I think that that'll let his little overalls and hat stand out a little bit. Yes, I already have asked Jen at Newton's Nook to see if they have one of those Nay sets there, and she said she didn't think so, but who knows. And I've also kind of looked online. It's not that big of a deal, but it would make my little Newton's Nook farm complete. And that was R20. He's got to have little pink ears. It's just the way it is. And I always start with my lightest color. I know a lot of people start with their darkest. I've tried that and I don't succeed very well. I figure you can always add to your colors. It's harder to take them away. So I'm just going to color up the little kitty cat here first, and then we'll do his overalls and his little pitchfork and hat. So that's E41. Next we're going to do, no, we're not going to do an E43. Grab the wrong one. E42. And you don't have to do as many colors as me. I have the colors, so I figure why not use them? I don't know. And it's also very hard for me to talk and color at the same time, but I will do my best. All right. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. This is fun. All right, so just getting some color laid down. Now we're going to go to E43. And I recently filled my Copics. So to prevent the Copic blob, which if you've ever used them and you've gotten the blob, you know it always comes at the end after you've colored everything and it makes you cry. So to avoid that, I take off the caps on both ends, and that kind of alleviates that so that it doesn't blob, because it has happened to me many, many times, and it has made me cry many, many times. So I learned I don't like that. So this is the solution that I discovered. I'll never forget, one was a very detailed image, and it was red. And red is such a pigmented color that there was no saving that image at all. Hope I forgot his little tail. There we go. Nope, we don't want the Copic blob. Ugh. All right, the last one is E44, and then I'll just go back through and try to blend it so it's not as harsh in some places. If you haven't watched my coloring videos, I don't worry about shadows or anything like that. When I tried to learn to do that, it took away my happiness, my joy of coloring. So I just color how I want, and I put things wherever I want. Do I only use Copics? No. I have the full set of Copics, and I've been using them for, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 years. So they're what I'm comfortable with. But I recently bought a complete Ohuhu set of markers that I'm trying to learn. I did get a fine tip in those, so I do like those for like adding texture, especially when I'm coloring hair. I also have a skin tone set of Arteza Everblends, and I also have some stamping blends, and I like all of those, and sometimes I use those all together. I also like adding some colored pencil detail sometimes to the colored image. If you're going to do that, always do it after you do your alcohol marker coloring. Otherwise, it can hurt your nibs. I really, really want to try Olos because I've heard a lot of good things about those. But since I have all these other markers and I'm almost to the point where I have all the Copic refills, I just don't know if I can justify the price of getting yet another marker collection. So I'm trying hard not to have the fear of missing out, but yes. I do really like the Ohuhus. Their numbering system drives me batty, but I have a little chart that has all the colors that I have on it, and it helps a little bit. So I'm trying. Like I said, I'm more comfortable with these, so especially for like lives or my coloring videos, this is what I use. But many years ago, I tried the what were they, Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. They weren't the tri-blends, they were just Spectrum Noir, and I did not like those at all. I've heard a lot of good things about the tri-blends, and again, I'd like to try it, but I have so many others, I just can't justify it. All right, now I'm going to do his little overalls. We are going to do blue ones. I'm going to use some B91, and I always just lay like a base coat of the lighter color down, and then I go back in with the darker ones. All right, I just love his little overalls. I love him, period. I think he's adorable. I know Crafty Owl does have the dry blends, and you like the Olos. Yeah, I really want to try them, but I really don't want to at the same time because I really don't want to spend the money because that's more stamps I could buy. And paper. I love stamps and paper. Well, I love all the things. Who am I kidding? We tease that my nickname is Veruca Salts from Willy Wonka because I want it all and I want it right now. All right, and this is B93. This is kind of my go-to combo for jeans. I will be doing, I've done one, but I will be doing another video soon on adding texture to your Copic coloring. If you have like an old pair of jeans, it works out fabulously. You just take that and you put the either rubbing alcohol, it has to be like a really high percentage, or the colorless blender on it, and it gives like the jean texture. It's really cool. That's coming soon. Thank you so much for your compliments, Crafty Al and everyone. Again, this is years and years and years of practice, and not exaggerating, but I probably do color most days. It's like if I'm doing family activities or something, obviously I don't color then, but I color a lot. So lots and lots and lots of practice. And I've taken lots of classes. Some of my favorites have been Kitten Clouder, and also I really got a lot out of the crafty, what was it? Online coloring challenge, crafty road trip or something like that. It gave me a lot of tips too. All right. We're just going to blend some of that back out. The other critters won't take as long, so we won't be here forever, I promise. Because I know my attention span is not always that long, so I didn't want to keep you here forever. Looks a little dark. It's not. I think I need to bring in a 95 to kind of go with this, because that's just too harsh of a line for me. Hi, Meg. Thank you for being here, and everyone else. I know I've missed a lot of you as you've joined in the chat, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you for Crafty Al for being my moderator and helping me with comments and whatnot. All right, that's much better. I like that blend a little bit better there. Okay, go back in with just the lighter one, and then we'll move on to his hat, which I don't know what color I want to do his hat. Any suggestions for his hat? I think I really will do like a blue band though. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if I want to do yellow or like a straw color. What do we think? Yellow or a straw color for the other part of his hat? This is 90. I don't want 95, I want 93. Straw color? Like a straw hat? Okay. Think I can do that. Let me just get this band done. Now we want the 95. Look at you guys all with the straw. All on the same page today. I was kind of nervous earlier. It was really raining here. I mean, it was hard to even hear anything. And I was like, how am I going to do this? But luckily, it cleared up. So everything was in my favor today. Forgot I wanted to do his little buttons there. All right, a straw type hat. I think for the straw, we're going to do the E51, E53, and E55. It's probably not a true like straw color, but that's what we're going to do. Another thing with your coloring is to just keep going. Sometimes it looks like a horrible mess before you get to the end, but you just keep going. Or if you watched my cat series, you saw that I hated how I colored Tom, so you go back and you redo it. All right. This is E55. This will be our last one. Get under his hat there and just a touch. All right. And then I'm just going to go back over with that lighter color since it's, and I did not grab the lighter color. I lie. That was E53. So we'll go back in with the darker color so that it stands out a little bit more because I grabbed the wrong one. All right, we're going to leave it alone. Just going to leave it alone. I forgot his little nose. You never keep going long enough. I think you're too hard on yourself, Crafty Al, is what I think. And you also, I love that coloring is one of those things that everyone can appreciate a different and have a different style. Like Crafty Al, she doesn't really enjoy coloring, and so she does like her spotlight coloring, and that's perfect. Some people only like to do one layer of coloring, and that's fine. Whatever works for you is perfect. This is my true happy place, is coloring. So I like to do all the things. All right, so I'm doing his little pitchfork And I grabbed a C3, and I'm gonna grab a C5. All right, and there's the C5, and I'm just gonna do right around the edges here, just to give it a little bit of dimension, not a ton. All right, and then we're going to do, I think, yeah, I tend to use a lot of markers. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why sometimes I just don't feel like listing all the colors, because I tend to use, like, you should see when I color like detailed ones, like it's mounded up. But I always leave them on my table in case I need to go back so that I know what color I was using, because I would never remember. I can barely remember anything. So that's E25 and E27 I'm just going to do on this little part here. And then I think I'm going to do like just a darker gray down here. I'm going to do C9, which is really, really dark. And it's also very, very full, so hopefully I can get it. There we go. So there is our little farmer Newton. I'm going to put him over out of the way a little bit. And then these ones will go really fast. We're going to do Moo and Cluck here. And I'm going to take a drink. All right, so since it's kind of color or like designed like this, I originally was going to do like a brown cow, but I think we're going to do a gray cow, or like a black and white one. Hi, Julie and Sire. Goodness, I feel like so excited. I have so many people. All right, so I'm going to start with C2. And I talked about this recently, like if you go around some of the places that you want to be white, then this just doing like a light gray or a light blue will just kind of highlight it and make it appear more natural, kind of stand out a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just going around where it's going to be white, kind of like a light gray, I guess. When we get the dark spots in, it'll really look a lot lighter. All right, so that's, and we'll do the tail there, I guess. All right, next I'm going to backtrack and do his little face. I don't know what it is about cows, but I absolutely love them. And don't ever go on a trip with me where there are a lot of like fields with cows, because I will announce every single cow there is by saying, oh look, there's a moo cow. Ask my family. We've done lots of trips this year. They're probably really sick of it. You don't need all the colors and markers. I'm just, like I said, I'm Veruca Salts. I want it all and I want it right now. You can get by with just a few markers. You don't really need all of them. I'm just a want it all, gotta have it all kind of gal. So I did E00 and E11 for the little snoot there. All right, now we're gonna go in with C3 so that there is something about announcing animals, yes. Gonna go in and do like where it's going to be darker. So like this little section of the face is gonna be darker. And I think I did that backwards. Oh well, this one's gonna be a backward cow because these were probably gonna be white spots, but now they're gonna be black. It's all good, it's all good. We make our own things, right? And this was what happens when I'm nervous. All right, and then I want like a C6. You point out moo cows too. My husband, on one trip that we took, it was neigh horses and oink pigs, and oh my goodness, it got to be overwhelming, but it was a lot of fun. All right, and it looks really dark, but we do want it to end up being like that black. So, but I don't know, I don't like using the blacks a lot because you can't get very much, like layering, shadowing, texture if you just use straight up black. I love that so many of us like to moo when we see the cows. That makes my heart happy. For those that don't know, I am a huge animal lover. We moved here to Omaha. Well, I live by Omaha, so that I could work at the Omaha Zoo, best zoo in the nation. Yes. And I did that for several years, but I was salary and it just was not conducive to having a family at the time. But I still go often and I absolutely love zoos and I love animals. My family cringes every time we talk about a new place to visit because we always have to go to zoos or multiple zoos at the same visit. So yes, I am a true animal zoo lover. All right. Now I'm just going to T-bone ribeye porterhouse. I'm going to go back in. That just made me giggle. Sorry. With a C5 to kind of just bring those out. Okay. And I am going to leave them kind of outlined like that just because I think it looks really nice. All right, and for the horns, I'm going to bring back in this E51 and E53. All right. And we're just going to, oh, and I got to do the bell. Almost forgot the bell. All right. So for the little collar part, I will do that last because I'm going to do that red. And I always do my reds last because they bleed easily and stuff. Ugh. All right. So for the bell, I'm going to do a gold bell. We're going to do YR21 and YR23. You collect wax animals from zoos? Oh, that's cool. I collect pictures. I always tell myself, I'm not going to take any pictures. And I take 20, 30, 50, 100 pictures. Yeah. Again, my family can attest that I go a little crazy. All right. And then there's not much of the color showing, so I'm just going to do one color. I'm going to do R27. All right. And there, our little moo is done. So cute, so cute. All right. All we have left is Cluck, and Cluck will be easy. We're going to use a lot of the colors we already have out. So I'm going to start with the E51. All right. I got to think this through. I do want this to be a really light color. I was going to do white, but I think since I'm doing like a brown chicken, we'll just do a little bit like that. And then we'll go over all of this. Chickens can be so many different colors. It's hard to. And then the R21. We might bring in the R23. I'm not sure yet. So just over that, I want this to be a little bit darker, the body than the head. Little tail feathers. So cute, so cute. I am going to bring in. Oh, I'm glad that there's people that like seeing my zoo pictures on my personal page. Yeah. I also, in a previous life, I worked at a camera store and I developed all the pictures, but I also did portraits and weddings and nature photography. I've won quite a few awards and stuff, so I just love taking pictures. Again, my family is not very happy with that. All right, I think that looks cute. And then we need to do the little beak and legs. They're so skinny. We're gonna just do one color. I'm gonna do the YR68. People have chickens here too. It's really, my husband would love to have some, but I'm not ready to go down that route now. All right, and then I'm gonna come back in with R24 and R27 for the little comb. I was trying to think. I'm like, what are they called? I think they're called combs. And then we'll be ready to put things together. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So there's our little clock. It's so cute. All right, I'm going to move all of these out of the way. Yes, I'm live. I'm live. All right. Now, like I said, I have everything together already so that hopefully this part goes really quick and easy and smooth. That's the key. So we're going to put together our little barn first, and I'm going to take a drink. Oh my goodness. I tried my precision press earlier and it was working great. So let's hope that it works great now. I do have everything all cut out. You could do a barn in any color, but I thought I would do the traditional red and white barn. Oh, it's working. Yay. I have to say I debated and debated a long time for the precision press, but I love it. It helps my hands because my hands hurt so much when I use other glue bottles. So I am loving that. Got carried away a little bit there. It'll dry. And a lot of this is going to be covered. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Again, if you're joining late or you missed it, everything that I'm using today for the most part is from Newton's Nook. I already have a link to their farm collection in their website in the description box below. I tried to be proactive and have everything linked already and listed. If I've forgotten something, I will go back and add it. So now we got to get, oh, and I see Crafty. I'll just put it in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if you like the glue press, if you have it and you like it, go ahead and put a 10 over in that chat so I can see who else loves it like I do. I did have to wait. It's out of stock so often, but I found mine on a road trip home, and we stopped at Scrap Mania in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I was lucky to get it there. Yay for people who like their glue press. All right, so there our little barn is done. Super duper cute. All right, so now I got to think things through here, what I had wanted to do. All right, so this is going to go here. This is going to go here. Nope, the sun's going to go on there too. And then our critters. So everything's done except if you've followed me for a while. Yay, yay for all the ones that like it. And I really, I debated a long time on whether to get it or not. And it is one of those purchases I do not regret. Some purchases I regret, but not that one. I always try to finish off the inside. I just think it ties the card together. I've been lazy lately and have not been doing it as much. So I have everything stamped because, again, nervous, didn't want to stamp and screw something up on the camera. So I have everything, but I am going to add these pattern pieces up to the top here. We're just going to do some simple cuts. I'm hoping, because I've had a lot of people ask me to do a video on just finishing off the insides and maybe doing something on the envelopes. So that is on my list of things to do. I'm just gonna put that there, hold it. Yeah, if your hands don't hurt and if you don't have issues with what you're using now, I'd say you don't need it. I was struggling more than any person should struggle with my glues, and my hands really hurt. And so that's why I decided to get it, and I don't regret it. But if you're happy with what you've got, you probably don't need it. All right, just cut off the excess. And there, our inside is finished. Now I'm gonna pull over all my other stuff here. Stuff. All right, so let's get this card put together. I use Stamping Up cardstock. To color on, I use Catherine Pooler cardstock. I use Stampin' Up! Inks, but I have tons of others. It just depends on the day and my mood. Okay. Those that have watched me before know that I once was told when I started stamping to always make sure you have your name on your card so that everyone can appreciate the work that you did. So I have 20 zillion stamps to go on the back of my cards, and I always make sure and do that. Okay. And then I start on the inside. I'm a very routine person, and that's what I do. I do the back, I do the inside, and then I finish it off with the front. That way it helps me too if I were to be adding like glossy accents or stickles or something, then the inside would already be done and I could set it aside to dry. So there we go with that. Okay. Looking for things that are right in front of my face. Again, I have everything all ready to go. This paper is just adorable. I mean, look at the back side. How cute. Look at their little bottoms. All right, sorry. Squirrel moment. There we go. And then, thank you, Beth. I'm a very OCD routine gal, and so when I find something that works, I stick with it. And that way of putting cards together, like if I go out of order, I just feel all out of sorts. So here's our little stenciled piece. Next we'll add our little pattern paper. I chose the green to kind of mimic grass. I am going to put both the ATG and some liquid glue on that. All right. And got that going. Next, we want to probably put our little sun on here. See about, I know it's going to be covered up, but I wanted to see. So we'll put it right about there. And as I'm finishing up, does anyone have any questions? Because the rest of it probably won't take too long. If you missed it, I am going to try to start doing more lives, more videos. I'm going to try to vary the days and times of the lives so that you can join if you weren't always able to. It's my plan. You know, another one of those things I said I would never do. I was like, I'm never going to do lives by myself. I've done some on other channels. And I'd love to do more, but my phone doesn't like StreamYard that a lot of people use. So, but yep, here's another thing I said I'd never do. I would never do a live on my channel. Yeah, well, okay. Famous last words, famous last words. Okay, there's that. And then next, I want to do our little Farmer Newton. And then our cow's going to go over here and our little chicken's going to go there. So I'm going to put Farmer Newton down flat and the others are going to be popped up. Thank you everyone for the kind words and encouragement about my lives and plans. I also, I guess, probably need to put a little disclaimer. I am menopausal and hormonal, and sometimes things don't always work out, but I'm going to try my best. And that's all we can do, right? Is just try our best. All right, I think we're going to put the little moo cow over here. Have some little Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Ah! Oh my goodness. Things are going every which way. And I tend to put a lot just so that it's more, I don't know, even. Hi, Lynn. I knew that you weren't going to be able to chat since you were going to be in a meeting. Thank you for coming. All right, so this little moo's going to go right here. Then all we have left is the cluck. I just love the names of these. They're just so fun. I don't think it needs any more. He's kind of small. Yeah, the joys of being a woman. I tell you, menopause is not for the faint of heart. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster sometimes. All right, we're going to put the little Cluck right there. And there is our card. I think it is just so fun, so adorable, and it went together really easy. Again, I have everything linked in the description box already. Let me look at my list. Oh, I did want to mention, originally I was going to be doing my lives in my new Facebook group, but Facebook hates me, so I was not able to. That's what caused this. But I do have a new group, just where I can share what I want to share, and I'd love to have people come on over and join it. I will be doing giveaways. Our first giveaway will be when we hit 50 members. This card might actually be given away before then. I don't know. You didn't hear it from me. And I think that that's all I've got for you now. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy that it all worked out and that it turned out cute. And if you ever think of another question, just feel free to ask. And I will see you all soon. If I can figure out how to end it.